As anger boils over among Ethiopia's Oromo population following the death of a revered singer, observers say swift action and transparency by the government are necessary. Hachalu Hundessa was shot in Addis Ababa on June 29. Police quickly apprehended suspects, but few details have been released, fueling suspicion and sparking a violent backlash. Henok Gabisa, a professor of practice at Washington and Lee University School of Law, said Hachalu's music was the soundtrack of the Oromo Revolution. His death came after an appearance on the Oromia media network where he criticized Ethiopia's leadership.
Hachalu is way more than a musician. I mean, he's way more than an artist. Hachalu is an activist artist who always stood his ground, who spoke truth to power way long time ago when it was difficult to do.
The murder comes at a time when tensions are already high amid restrictions relating to COVID-19 and the postponement of parliamentary elections formerly scheduled for August. In a national address, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed sought to quell tensions. More than being a national figure, he was a close friend. The sorrow is very deep, he said. But the wish of our enemies is for us not to reach our goals so that the Oromo people can't live with other ethnicities and we would paint each other with blood. They want us to trip on the journey we have started. This attempt has been tried repeatedly, he added. Observers warn that a slow or heavy-handed government response risks a repeat of past protests among the Oromo ethnic group that led to hundreds of deaths. In November 2019 alone, 86 people were killed in protests following allegations that security forces were plotting to attack Jawar Mohammed, an activist and co-founder of Oromia Media Network. Letitia Bader is the Human Rights Watch Horn of Africa director.
And so it's absolutely key that the Ethiopian authorities respond to this by acting urgently to reduce tensions and to ensure that security forces do not make what could be a combustible situation worse. The government needs to order security forces not to use excessive force or to carry out arbitrary arrests, including against protesters, as they've often done in the past.
As during past periods of unrest, Ethiopia's government-controlled telephone and internet provider, Ethio Telecom, shut off internet access. Bader said this lack of access to information adds to the confusion.
It's absolutely key for the government to make sure that as soon as possible it is providing accurate, timely information to the public on what they're doing to investigate killing, but also how they are responding to what could be a very tense situation.
Protesters have been further angered this week as news spread that Jawar Mohammed was arrested and the domestic operations of his television network were shut down. A total of 35 people have been arrested in Addis Ababa, including Oromo leader Baqqala Garba. Merera Guddina, chair of the Oromo Federalist Congress and opposition party, said the events show the urgent need for reform. He called for a commission with representatives from all sectors of society to oversee the way political opponents and protests are treated in Ethiopia.
We want some sort of more inclusive commission that can oversee some of the way the government is conducting its business. The government is not properly functioning, so that's our worry.
The opposition is also demanding more transparency and accountability from the government. Salem Solomon, VOA News, Washington.